Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, Ambassador Godknows Igali, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Power, is our guest on the Question Time. Don't go away. So, what's our current generating capacity?
The current generation capacity is 7,000, about 7,400. There are some plants that are redundant. We don't want to count them. There are some plants, installed plants, that are redundant. We don't count them. If we have to count the installed plants, which are redundant, which potentially, and sometimes people like to count as capacity, we'll go a little bit above 4,000, 7,400. But if we look at what is operating, what we can do is about 7,400. But what is available on the average, we've gone down to 4,870, almost 5,000. But I don't want to count the spikes that go up and down. Every day we record, going like yesterday, we got a new energy peak. The real energy peak, which 103 megawatts per hour. We don't want to count that.
The Director General of the BP said during the Senate hearing on the power sector that there is lack of coordination among the regulating agency. What is responsible for this?
Sitting from my desk here, we are coordinating very well, work very well. I didn't hear him say that. If he said that, I have a different thought on that.
Why is there discord between the Power Ministry and the NERC over the National Electricity Management Service Limited?
No. There are no controversies. Government agencies work in concert. Sometimes there are overlaps. When overlaps occur, and that's why we, the ministry, try to correct those overlaps. We don't have, we work together, and the ministry is the mother of the sector. That's what the Act says. The Act is the 2005 Electricity Reform Act. And so the ministry is the mother body. But NERC, the regulator, deals day to day with them. And the ministry allows NERC to have that independence. The ministry only comes in when there are critical matters of policy. Then the minister, by the Act, is expected to come in. Otherwise, NERC runs the system.
Why was the collection losses removed from the tariff component? Doesn't this contravene the power purchase agreements?
NERC has explained over and over that the distribution companies should go and come up with their tariffs. The tariffs are not cast in steel. Tariffs are the product of negotiations between distribution companies and their consumers, taking into consideration other macroeconomic indices. NERC is only an umpire. NERC brings together. So the distribution companies are expected to talk with their consumers. The distribution companies are expected to come back with NERC. The NERC will now look at the macroeconomic situation of the country, the demographics, this foreign exchange situation, and other things that they need to take into consideration. But sometimes people tend to hit too hard on NERC, as if NERC just comes and imposes and charges that. No, there is the expectation of discos being able to talk with their consumers. And when they talk with their consumers, they come back to NERC. NERC will sit with them, look at all the factors, and agree on tariff. That's how it is done.
Let's now quickly look at the response of the presidency over the power supply issue. He has made his opinion known in the international media, and he said when asked about whether he's going to give additional funding to the power sector, he said no. He said what he told the investors in the power sector is give Nigerians light or you refund whatever you have enjoyed from the PHM privatization.
This president, His Excellency Muhammad Buhari, has given copious and robust support to the power sector. From when he came in, he made himself very clear to us that I want to give power to Nigerians, and told all of us to go and work and make sure Nigerians have stable power supply. Not only you, they're talking as a ministry, your agencies, but all those working with you, the GENCOs, the generation companies, DISCOs, distribution companies, transmission company, gas companies. But now let me tell you, before the last administration left, my boss, the former minister, Professor Nebo, complained over and over that I am being frustrated by lack of gas. And some people called him a whipping governor, a whipping minister. He said, give me gas and I can give Nigerians stable power. And nobody could give that gas to the power sector. But the president His Excellency President Buhari gave everybody a marching order. I said, go and make sure you all work together. And somehow, I'm getting gas. I've seen recent debates where people said it was rain that is causing the power difference in the stability of power supply.
You said the privatization in 2013 has reduced the burden on government. Is this reflected on the government expenditure so far?
Yes. Government has been spending less on power. And that's why if you look at my charts, which shows what we have been spending, you can see that since after privatization, what government has been spending is going down. It's going down. PACN, NEPA, was the biggest, after the federal government in terms of employment, was the biggest organization in Nigeria. Over 46,000 workers, touching almost every single local government in this country. And was a huge body. Salary bill alone was about 10 billion every month. So it's clear that it is now going down. Government is no longer spending that huge amount on power supply. What government now does is to provide the regulatory environment that is reliable, that is consistent, which NEC is providing, and then provided the enabling environment. Like today, government gives waivers to equipment, not to buying generators, but for equipment. When we see turbines are coming in for the power sector, the government allows the turbines to come in. Or major transmission equipment, government gives that substations and so on. Government gives that kind of support. And government ensures that what government has entered into in terms of privatization, we keep our part.
You can also be a part of this conversation by sending us your comments on our various social media platforms showing on your screen. Coming up on Question Time, what happens to the roadmap for the power sector? Find out when we return. Join us again.